quadratic function can be written in a form like this: y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And of course, it's not quadratic if a is equal to 0. So a cannot be 0, because if a is 0, this is no longer here. You have a linear equation. We should try to graph this. The simplest quadratic function is y equals x squared. Choose values for x that are convenient. Let's choose -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. See if we can find a pattern. So if we let x be -2, and then we square it, then y equals -2 squared, or y equals 4. So the point -2, 4 is on the graph of this relationship. Okay, so this is 4. If we square -1, -1 times -1 is 1. 0 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. If we did a quick sketch of this, and I'm just going to do a quick sketch here. 0, 0, I can see is going to be right on the graph. If I go back 2 on the x-axis, that's the first number, x and y, so back 2 is -2, and then we need to go up 4. So let's try to keep it somewhat to scale. That would be 2, and that would be 4. So 2, 4 is here. And notice there's some symmetry. If it were +2, then +2, 4 is also on the graph. So if this distance is 2, this is +2, and 2, 4 is also on the graph. -1, 1, and 1, 1, 0, 0. And what we get is a U-shaped curve like this, and this shape is called a parabola. This parabola is symmetric. In this case, x equals 0 is called the axis of symmetry. It's the fold line. 0, 0 here is the bottom of the curve. It's called the vertex. So our parabola never, in this case, never dips below 0, y greater than or equal to 0. So we see that the vertex is a minimum point. So there you go. That is the quadratic function. Now, what would happen if we add different equations? Let's try graphing y equals x squared. We're going to add 1 to this. So remember your order of operations. You're going to square the x, then add 1. So if x is -2, y will be -2 squared plus 1, 4 plus 1, or 5. So this value is 5. I square this. 1 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 2. 0 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. If we did a quick sketch of this, x is -2, the y value becomes +5. So that's about here. And if I go to x equals -1, it goes to +2 in the y direction. If I go to 0, x is 0, then y is 1. And symmetric. At x equals 1, y value is 2, and at 2, the y value is 5. So let's again sketch the curve. And the vertex is now different. The vertex is now 0, +1, and this is still a minimum point. The axis of symmetry is still x equals 0, And if I compare this shape to the original shape, notice that everything has shifted up 1. So this plus 1 here is a shift upwards. So adding 1, let's just call it C. C is the shift upwards. So C is a shift up in the y direction.